Hey friends, what's up? Kaz here. Welcome back to another server avatar or bucket spigot plug-in thrower. If you're joining for the first time, feel free to hit that subscribe button because I do these every week. If you have a suggestion of one you'd like me to do, feel free to comment that in the below. I will give you a shout out. Basically like Pokemon Go in Minecraft, or I believe the original plugin name was Safari Nets. So the way that this works is you can deploy and capture any mob that you want, and it's going to preserve all information of that mob, any custom names, any effects, any saddles and items in the saddle, villager health, horse health, all that stuff. And then you can actually transfer that egg to other players. Be like, okay, I will sell you this for cheap, and you get all of this stuff. Now there's two Pokeball or Safari Net balls in this, and there's the reusable, which you just saw, in a single use. Now there's two different ways you can get these. You can either get them from a command, which is Safari Net give player, and then we want to give a single use, and then to me, just number one. So you could do that. You could put that in your plugin or your votifier, or you could put that in like a donation system or shop system, whatever, and then it can run that command and give that to them. And then a single use is basically you catch it and then you deploy it and then it's gone. You can also craft these. You can also restrict what mobs can be captured, what things can be crafted, if they can even craft each one of them, but you have to enable that in the configuration. So this, I believe, is a single use. Yep. And then this is the Eye of Ender, which then this is how you craft a reusable one. Pretty straightforward on that, and then we can go ahead and capture whatever we want, like the polar bear over here maybe. I was gonna highlight and show the donkey thing, but couldn't really do that. So now, then it deploys that. So then single use, obviously, bam, there we go. So let's talk about the permissions really quick before we jump over into the config. Permissions are SafariNet.use, obviously the ability to be able to use this stuff. SafariNet.give in order to run that give command. SafariNet.reload, self-explanatory. SafariNet.catch.mob name. So if you have it enabled in the config that they need a permission in order to catch a mob, you need to give those permissions out for each mob that you want them to be able to catch. You can also just set a blacklist. So if you just don't want them to catch Ender Dragons or other players or polar bears or whatever, you can actually just add that mob name to the blacklist. Then you have SafariNet.craft.singleuse and SafariNet.craft.reusable. Once again, must be enabled in the config. Let's go take a look at that right now. All right, so here we are in the server. We are running 1.10.2. This actually runs all the way back to 1.8. Now keep in mind, if you're running 1.7 or 1.8, you might have to change some of the mob sound names because they changed in 1.9. So plugins, and then we're gonna run SafariNet, and then we're gonna open this config. Pretty straightforward here. Here's your blacklist. You just add extra lines for the mobs that you don't want to be able to catch. So then you can also enable it so they can't catch tamed mobs, so they can't steal other players' horses or anything like that. And then if you have mythic mobs, you can actually disable that. But actually this plugin works with just about any other mob mod out there. It preserves all the background information, so that is pretty slick. Then you can play the sound, or you can not play the sound, and then here's the sound options all in here. Play sound on spawn. You can have it where it doesn't play a sound when you spawn them. Then here's where you enable or disable the per mob permissions and the per crafting permissions. And then here's where you can change what it looks like for a display name. Also, you can change the custom recipe. So A's, you can change the ingredients that are used in that. And then pretty self-explanatory, line 1, line 2, line 3. A associates with that, and then B associates with that. So you can even change the crafting recipe required to make these, which is really cool. Very nice touch. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you found this video helpful and that this plugin interesting. I thought it was pretty interesting. I've used another plugin in the past like it, which I don't think is around anymore. So I love that this plugin really preserves all the information, and it has a lot of versatility. You can even sync these across your bungee cord if you use like an inventory sync plugin. This also can really provide a means for your players to trade mobs that they've caught and maybe even battle them against each other or something like that. I don't know. Thank you so much for tuning in and all the support. This is Kaz reminding you guys all, enjoy the game. God bless.